Hello everyone, this is me Tehrima Salman from Campus Guru, and today the topic that we are discussing is how the online learning system is proving to be different for both the students and the teachers and how they are dealing with it. Distant learning has been around for a long time, and even before technology made it extremely accessible. Traditional schooling is now seeing an increased proliferation of virtual training materials and online courses. Even in a world of tried and tested schooling systems and curricula, the most successful schools are the ones who adapt to the changing times as well as to the expectations of students, parents, and the society. If online education is here to stay, then what are its implications for traditional learning? Instead of focusing on pros and cons, the conversation we should be having is about leveraging online education to make our education systems more conducive to learning. To discuss this, we have with us today Dr. Shabib Hasan, who is the Vice-Chancellor of Humdard University since 2017. Before that, he was a professor at Karachi University and teaching there for 22 years in the Public Administration Department. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, I'll start off with a basic question that in your opinion, what do you think online education is? And do you think this is the future of education?
To me, yes, this is the future because this is something which you cannot ignore, and we like it or not, it is there and will remain unless we come up with some other technology. So, this is something which is mandatory for all walks of life, that you have to face changes and have to adopt about it. The sooner you get it accustomed to it, the easier it would be for you to excel. We are saying that the online education system is there, but the basic ingredient for online education system is missing. It's a compulsion that we are facing without being trained properly about it. Whether you talk about the students, whether you talk about the faculty or the teaching staff, or you talk about the infrastructure, in all three counts, we were not ready to adopt it.
So, some people feel that the education style of school that we are seeing from the beginning, that is the traditional mode, it damages the originality and creativity of the student. So, do you agree with this, or do you think that this new mode of education, it can help students get independent of their own learning?
From my perspective, it's a bit a question that really want a soul searching. Do you think the education system we are having, the traditional education system or the online education system, is creating any kind of newness or originality? No. We are teaching the same thing through online.
Yeah.
We are trying to have the creativity or originality suppressed through our education system. I always say about it कि हम जिस education system में हैं वहाँ we talk about a student as a good student if he listens to everything that I say and follow it.
Yeah.
The moment he raise question or start asking questions or too many questions, I start bothered about it being a teacher. The one thing that we need to have in our education system, whether online or traditional education system, is to allow the students to raise questions. Most importantly, we always talk about education, taaleem, and we never talk about the training, the knowledge that been imparted or been held by that student. We never talk about it in our education system. So, from my perspective, the bottom line that we need to work upon is to change the education system in this direction.
So, as you talked about changing the system, so do you think the student who acquires education in the traditional way and the one who gets the degree through online learning, their quality of education is the same or it differs?
Currently, if I say that online education system is not up to the level of traditional education system, and even in the traditional education system, there is a lot of room for improvement. So, from my perspective, you talk about the quality of education, it overall requires, you can say, overhauling, or you can revamp it. That we need to develop such a system that provides an opportunity to the students to identify their potential, to allow them to raise questions, to have that tolerance that they accept the other point of view that coming around and make a better outcome out of it. जो हम नहीं करते, हम उसको कहते हैं जो मैंने बता दिया यही करना है, There's this common phrase that we use, ज़्यादा लामा बनने की ज़रूरत नहीं, जो बताया गया वो लिखो, तुमने अपनी तरफ से क्या लिख दिया. And we never allow students to go and find some other things जो मैंने बताया उसके अलावा कुछ ढूंढो. अगर वो आप लेकर आए तो पता नहीं कहाँ से लेकर आए, ये सही नहीं हो. We need to educate them that how he has to bring out the right piece of knowledge out of that information that is available to him, and make it relevant to his personality, his surrounding, his environment, his work, anything. कि अगर मेरे पास कोई knowledge आ रही है तो वो मेरे से relate कैसे होगी.
So with this sudden change in the mode of learning, when we talk about the students from all over Pakistan, like from rural areas especially and small cities, do you think they should be given proper courses to gain these technical skills, because they might not have access to these technologies before? So do you think there should be some sort of course for them?
Exactly, not only for the rural areas or far off areas, it's about everyone that is associated with our education system needs to focus upon the training, whether they are teachers or whether they are students or whether they are staff. Everyone involved with the education system needs to inculcate this training habit into it. It's about involving training with learning. Then your education system would flourish. Right now, even at our cities, the gadgets and equipments and stuffs are available, but how we are using it, I'm not 100% satisfied that we are doing it in the right direction or in the right way. So training is required not only for the rural areas or far-flung areas, it's required for everyone associated with the education system. Only then we can have a better environment of education and learning and everything. Usually those students who have a better environment, the early schooling, have the chance to excel in the practical life. If they are not being exposed to the better learning environment at their early childhood days, success बहुत मुश्किल हो जाती है. So that is what we need to focus upon. चाहे वो online हो, चाहे वो traditional हो. The bottom line is कि आप वो learning environment create करें.
Do you think that our teachers are handling this new mode? How are they handling this new mode of education? Are they comfortable enough with it, or they also need some sort of training for it?
Usually इसमें दो bracket में तुम एक वो age bracket है जो 50 years and above, जिनके time पे computers नहीं था, और एक वो है जो अभी 25 और 30s के उसमें they knew about the computer things at their studying days. तो उनमें तो आसान है, लेकिन जिनकी एज फैक्टर आगे की साइड में देखूँ तो दे आर हैविंग प्रॉब्लम. बट बॉटम लाइन है दे हैव ट्राइड टू मेक एन एफर्ट कि उसको करें, इसलिए कोई और चॉइस थी नहीं. तो दे हैव ट्राइड टू हैव द फेमिलियरिटी विद द गैजेट्स एंड द सॉफ्टवेयर्स एंड एप्स. लेकिन ऑब्वियसली इट रिक्वायर्स ट्रेनिंग, प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग एंड एनवायरनमेंट बीन गिवन टू देम. तो वो कंटिन्यू रहना चाहिए. उससे बढ़ के एक और भी चीज़ अगर हम वैसे देखें तो ये तो सिर्फ ऑनलाइन की वजह से. अगर हम टीचिंग साइड पे अगर मैं देखूँ, चाहे वो यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल पे हो, चाहे मैं कॉलेज लेवल पे देखूँ या स्कूल लेवल पे, हम पढ़ने में अच्छा है, यू वुड बी अ गुड टीचर. नॉट नेसेसरली इफ समवन हैविंग गुड ग्रेड्स वुड बी अ गुड टीचर. उसकी इंग्रेडिएंट्स अलग होते हैं. हम उस वाले से अपने टीचर्स को ट्रेन तो करते नहीं हैं. हाँ, ओकेजनली कहीं कहीं पे ट्रेनिंग हम करा दें या किसी ने प्रॉपर जो है वो उसके हवाले से एजुकेशन दिया, बट बाय एंड लार्ज बस टीचिंग में चले जाओ और वहाँ पे कितनों का मुस्तकबिल तबाह करते करते खुद सीख जाओ कि आपने पढ़ाना क्या है. सो दैट इज़ हाउ वी आर डीलिंग विद द एजुकेशन mechanism of our society. Teaching is not about reading from the books or preparing lectures from different notes and उसको आके present कर. It also involves your own self. आप उसको रिस्पॉन्ड कैसे करते हो, सवाल आते हैं तो उसको जवाब कैसे देते हो, उसके हवाले से तैयारी क्या करते हो, उसको इनकरेज कितना करते हो, उनको जो है वो असेस किस तरह से करते हो, उनके फीडबैक कैसे लेते हो. ये सारी चीज़ें उसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व होती हैं, विच वी हार्डली टॉक अबाउट व्हेन वी आर हायरिंग और इंडक्टिंग समवन इनटू द टीचिंग साइड. वो नहीं करते. स्पेशली मेरा फोकस अभी भी यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल पर तो फिर हम करते हैं, स्कूल लेवल पे हम शायद बिल्कुल भी नहीं करते. सिटीज़ में फिर भी कर लेते होंगे, रूरल एरिया में वो भी नहीं करते हैं.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shabib, for your time. It was a pleasure having you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.